my name's Ellen if you're new, and today I'm going to be doing something that is a little bit different. So today I'm going to be doing a video all about my hair. I get quite a lot of questions about my hair, and I thought I'd just talk about it for the whole of the video, do a little hair story of how I started growing my hair, how I managed to grow it this long, what products I used. I'm going to be including lots and lots of pictures. I've literally been scrolling down Facebook all morning to find them embarrassing old pictures from 2012. There's going to be a lot of them in this video today, and just a little disclaimer, a lot of them are pretty blurry because back in 2011, 2012 I didn't have an iPhone, so obviously I had one of them little Nokia brick type phones as everyone did back then, so a lot of the pictures are really bad quality, but I'm including the pictures mainly so you can see the hair length and like how my hair was back then, and how my hair has changed over time and how I've got it healthy as it is now. I've written like quite a lot of notes on my iPad behind me, so if you see me reading off something, I'm reading off my iPad. I've written a big long list of each year until now. I've been growing my hair for about 5 to 6 years now. I'd probably say 5 years, because I mainly started in like 2012, 2013. So yeah, it's been about 5 years and my hair has grown a lot since then. Obviously if you're watching this, it's probably because you're trying to grow your hair out, and when I started growing my hair out, all I ever did was watch YouTube videos to get some advice and a little bit of a start on what to do when you want to grow out your hair. So hopefully everything that I talk about today can help somebody and help you get started with your own hair journey. Firstly, I'm going to take it straight back to when I was super young. So when I was in primary school, like between the ages of like 5 and 7 or maybe even older, I'm not entirely sure, I always had super short hair. My mum always made me have really short hair. I always had like a little bob to about here. I'll try and find a picture. If I've got one, I'll insert it somewhere. I always had little brown short bob with a full fringe, and I don't know how I felt about it back then, but I mean, looking back, I don't understand why I had that haircut, and I know from speaking to my dad a couple of times that he didn't even want me to have that haircut, and I feel like because I always had short hair when I was younger, it's just made me want super long hair now. It's probably the reason behind it, but I'll never know. So that's where I started. I always had short hair. So I found growing my hair out extremely difficult. I know some people that have had long hair since they were super young and they've managed to keep the long hair, but for me it's been a long journey of how I grew mine this long. So yeah, my hair has always been described as fine. It hasn't been described as thin, but it's been described as fine, and a lot of it. I am wearing extensions today, so this is why it looks a little bit thicker, but yeah, my hair has mainly just been described as fine, but a lot of it. I just take it as like medium to thin hair because I really don't have a lot of hair at all, I don't think. I've always had trouble growing out all these little hairs at the front. As you can see, they're always literally sticking up. I find it so hard to grow out little hairs. Even though I've managed to grow my hair long, I still can't manage to grow out them little ones. And then the little background behind my like hair cutting when I went to a salon and all that is I always went to the hair salon with my mum, and I always had my hair cut the same. I always asked for long layers, and every single time I went back to the hair salon they always chopped my hair back off to like this length again, every single time. I wasn't too fussed about growing my hair when I was like 10, 11, I don't think. I think my hair was about this length, so I mean it was alright for me back then. I always vividly remember that I always asked for maybe 1 or 2 inches off, and she always cut my hair straight back off short again, which I absolutely hated, and it just gradually made me want to stop going to that hair salon that I'll get into a bit later. So now I'm going to start into 2012, and this was the year of when I started high school. It feels so long ago now. But yeah, this is when I started high school, and all I used to do in a morning, like I never ever used to wear makeup. I wasn't really taught to wear makeup. The only thing I probably would wear would be like a little bit of mascara, but probably not even that. I mean, I remember begging my mum to wear a little bit of mascara and it was like picture day at school, which was quite funny looking back now, like comparing to all the 12-year-olds now that wear like a full face of makeup. It's mad to like, we've gone through like the ugly stage and they probably don't even have that ugly stage anymore. It's just gone extinct because makeup is just so like broad now that people, well, YouTube has just influenced so many people to start doing makeup younger, which is absolutely fine. I kind of wish like I was born in this generation and I could have done that. But yeah, I was so obsessed with heat tools and I literally used to curl my hair and style it every single day. I literally used to use the curling wand. I also used to use the straightener and curl my hair with a straightener. I was literally obsessed with my hair not being flat. I mean, if I could see myself right now, back then I probably would think, oh my god, her hair's so flat, which is just ridiculous. Like, I was obsessed with this little L'Oreal scrunching spray bottle. I don't know if anyone remembers it. I'll try to find a picture and insert it somewhere, but these literally came out in like 2012 and I was obsessed with it. I literally did my hair with that every single day, trying to make it as big and scrunchy and messy as possible. I don't understand what I was thinking. I literally never wore my hair natural, which is literally just, this is my natural hair, straight like this. I hated having straight sleek hair, which is probably what I'd say this is right now. I absolutely hated it. I felt so self-conscious with my natural hair. I literally would do anything for curly hair back then. My best friend had super curly hair and I was so jealous. All I wanted was curly hair. And I literally tried to curl it every single day. It was always stuck at this length. I'm going to be inserting pictures so you'll see, but it was always stuck about this length. I literally could not get it past that length. Obviously I know why now that I couldn't get it past that length. I always had like really choppy layers as well, so I had like the longer length and then I had like really short layers because I wanted more volume in my hair and all that, but I didn't realise it was making my hair thinner by having them layers, because my hair was already not very thick as it was, and the layers were just making my hair thinner, even though it gave it a little bit of volume as well. I was literally obsessed about the texture of my hair and how big it was and how styled it could be, and I literally never left it alone. Every single day for school, like literally every single day, I got out the curling iron and literally burned my hair so bad. Like back in them days I never ever dyed my hair or anything like that, so heat damage was what I did, but I always used a heat protectant, so it wasn't like the end of the world. But looking back now, like I can't believe I did that. It just ruined my hair. I'm gonna go into 2013 now, when I was like in about year 8 or start of year 9, I'm not entirely sure, but I stopped going to the hair salon that I talked about, and my best friend's mum was a mobile hairdresser. So I actually, when I went to see my best friend, like a lot of the time after school and things, her mum would just trim my hair for me like a couple of inches, and it was somebody that I could trust and actually did take a couple of inches off for me rather than taking it right back up here when just back to where I was starting again. But this is the time, 2013, 2014, when I really started focusing on trying to grow my hair out. I got obsessed with them, like Tumblr pictures of long hair and all that kind of thing. I just got obsessed with it, and that's when I really wanted to start growing it. It started growing like a little bit past here, more to like boob length at this time. So I got a little bit of progress back then. I still had never dyed my hair back then, and I was still using quite a lot of heat. I still curled my hair quite a lot of the time. Back then I didn't even discover extensions yet, so I'd never tried anything like that. I have like a couple of pictures from 2013 to 2014 because for once I stopped documenting my whole life on Facebook and I got Instagram. I mean, back in like 2012, 2013, all I ever did was post pictures on Facebook like every single day of absolutely nothing necessary at all. It's actually quite funny that this morning I was going back through my Facebook pictures and found all these pictures. I mean, I'm grateful that I did delete them because now I've got good pictures to show you guys, but at the same time it is super embarrassing, and I guess it was just part of my childhood that I thought it was exciting to post on Facebook all the time, so that's probably why I did that. Now I'm going into 2015, which is still 3 years ago, so I've still been growing my hair a long time, and at the end of like year 11ish, so this was like around prom time and a little bit before, around summer, I started wearing clip-in extensions, and I only ever used clip-in extensions which weren't human hair. obviously back then it was literally the only thing I could afford. Like I think I didn't have a job then because I think I was 16, or I might have just got a job. I wore them for prom, and then after that I just got addicted to hair extensions. I started dyeing my hair, but not too drastically, just like a medium brown colour. My hair is naturally a light brown, you'll have seen in my pictures. It is currently dark brown, or that's what it says on the dye. But yeah, back then I just dyed it like a medium brown. I just hated the mousy colour, so I just wanted something a little bit warmer. But yeah, that's when I got addicted to well, not addicted, but like I started wearing extensions a lot. And then I started slowly like cutting my hair at home, but not too much. Like I just started trimming the ends, things like that. Every few months, maybe take an inch off, nothing too drastic. And then I discovered Kylie Bibles' long layered hair tutorial, and that's when I started doing my version of Kylie Bibles' long layered hair. But the problem with that is her hair was a lot thicker than mine. I didn't really take that into account, and my hair ended up getting quite thin because of the long layers again. So I then decided to just stop with the layers and just grow it all out one length. And then we're on to 2016, and this was when I started college, and this is when I started taking these tablets, and these are the Biotin or vitamin B tablets. I haven't used these for the whole time. I've used different ones, but everything that I've used has been Biotin or vitamin B, because this is the vitamin that really helps strengthen and grow your hair. It also helps your skin and your nails. I have also taken hair, skin and nails tablets as well, and this is the thing that I think has majorly helped my hair growth. I also still wear extensions at this point because I use them to make myself not focus on the length of my hair, and also by wearing extensions it meant I didn't have to style my hair as much. Like I would just do heatless methods and use extensions along with them, so I didn't have to focus on the length of my hair. And it also made me want to leave my hair alone more, because I like the look of it with the extensions, and then I didn't use as much heat, which meant my hair would grow longer. I think using extensions is a good way of growing your hair out. If you really hate the length of your hair and you only like your hair when it's styled, maybe get some extensions, because it definitely did help me. But then I ended up getting some really heavy extensions which I think were fake hair, and like but this was before I discovered human hair extensions, but around the side they started pulling out a little bit of my hair, so you've got to be careful. I would definitely suggest getting human, because they're a lot lighter than the fake hair extensions that really weigh down your hair. But back then that's literally the only thing that I could afford. But yeah, I did transition into human hair around the same time, so yeah, that was definitely a good idea. Back then it was a few inches past boob length, so probably about here, if you can see, like the bottom of my top. This is when I started cutting my hair myself, as I mentioned, and I just started trimming the split ends and a few inches off every few months. So I also started massively looking into heatless methods. I also did a little bit of this in school as well. So I always used to be obsessed with hair videos on YouTube, and a lot of them involved curling irons, but then I discovered another part of hair tutorials which are heatless methods, and for someone who's got really straight, sleek hair. I always wanted to be able to get a few curls in my hair, and I loved the way curls looked in my hair. So I started using the Primark bendy rollers. If you'll have seen my heatless curls video, I literally still use them today. I actually used to use the thinner ones more than the thick ones, because the thinner ones came out a long time ago, and I've been using them ever since they first came out, since high school days. I started using them around GCSE time, and I still use them now, so they're something that I absolutely love and will definitely stick with. I also prefer the way they look over using curls with a curling iron, and I also love how long they stay in my hair compared to using curls with a curling iron as well. I also, for some reason, thought it was cool to have thin eyebrows and go mad on the bronzer. Obviously you've seen in my pictures I looked absolutely ridiculous, but college was the years of experimentation, and that's when I didn't know what I wanted to look like. So moving on to the end of 2016 was when my hair rapidly grew, and I think it was mainly down to these, because this is when I mainly got these in 2016. I think I started off with the ones from Holland & Barrett. These are literally just from Body Care, which I got in Leeds Centre, but I'm sure there's Body Care near you or something similar than that. You can probably just get these in Morrison's. They're just classic vitamin B or biotin tablets that I would suggest, or also hair, skin and nails, because they all do a similar thing in promoting hair growth and protecting your hair, skin and nails as well. So yeah, I just mentioned that my hair grew quite a lot at the end of 2016, and this was between September and December that I massively noticed a difference. It went to my belly, it started growing quite fast from my boobs to my belly button. It was like in between the two lengths, and then it definitely got to my belly button. This is when I started maintaining that length, I guess. I'm struggling to try and get it past that length right now, but back in 2016, this was when I started going on nights out without my extensions, which was quite a big deal for me, and I started liking my actual hair a lot more. I really liked how it looked now it was longer. And then I started growing out all my hair to all one length because I really liked how much thicker it looked. And I started using heatless methods only to kill my hair. Stopped using heat completely, and I don't think I used heat for like a full year, and it massively improved my hair. Like, I would definitely suggest doing that if you want to grow out your hair. That's one of the biggest things you should do, is cut down or stop using heat altogether. And then I never went to a hairdresser. I only trimmed my hair myself, and my hair got super healthy and super shiny. So now we're on to 2017, and this was probably like the worst year for like my hair. Well, the worst year after how good 2016 was, and it was because I decided to cut my hair, and I cut about 3 to 4 inches off my hair because I just thought I'm gonna like have a bit of a fresh start kind of thing. Like, I thought it would really freshen up my hair and just get rid of all the split ends, but the thing was I didn't really have that many split ends, and looking back in pictures my hair was super shiny at the end of 2016. Obviously you've seen pictures, it was really shiny back then and super healthy. There was literally no damage with it, so I don't understand why I did that. But I also decided to start dyeing it more darker colours at this time. So I dyed it like a super dark brown / black colour, but I did dye it like dark brown, but it did come out like a really dark black colour, more than a dark brown, and this damaged my hair quite a lot. And I also really didn't like the colour. Like, I didn't feel like it was me at all. It was a darker than this right now. I super regretted it, and I started using the colour before. If I'll try and insert a picture, it's this home dye removal, and it worked, but it did turn my hair orange, so then I literally had to dye it back brown again. So it was like dyeing after dye, and my hair just got ruined. This was when I just decided I'm not going to dye my hair for a long time now, or cut it or do anything. And this is also the time that I started using sulfate-free shampoo. So this is the one that I use. It is called the 𝐸𝓁𝓁𝑒𝓃 or shea, I'm not sure, for natural hair. Sulfate-free cleansing cream shampoo. No sulfates, no silicones or mineral oil. Rich lather removes heavy build-up. Gentle formula prevents breakage and great for natural and coloured hair. So this is what I use, and it lasts me such a long time. I buy this from Boots online. It might be Superdrug, I'm sure it's Boots though. So yeah, this is such a good shampoo. I think it's like £3 or £4, but it lasts you such a long time. And definitely stop using sulfates if you're wanting to grow out your hair. I'm going to talk about this a little bit later. So that's when I started using that shampoo. And then moving on to 2018, which is obviously now, I rarely use heat unless it's an occasion. I have started using a little bit more heat compared to like 2016, but I still rarely use heat. If I want to curl my hair, I will do it overnight. I just try and plan it a little bit more. Like, I'm going to think in advance. If I want curly hair tomorrow, then I'm going to do it overnight, rather than thinking I'm just going to do curly hair today. You've just got to think like that if you want your hair to improve and get a lot more shiny and healthy, and also grow. So you just got to think about things like that, and it will definitely benefit your hair. I mainly use heatless methods. I trim my hair myself every couple of months or so, but only when it needs it. I mean, if it doesn't need cutting, then I won't do it. I'm not going to force myself to cut my hair if it's fine and it doesn't have split ends, so that's what I do right now. I dye my hair every few months with 𝐸𝓁𝓁𝒃 permanent dye. I do use box dye and I don't go to the hairdresser literally at all. I'm probably going to get shouted at that, but that's just my choice. I think my hair has benefited from that a lot. But when I say I dye my hair every few months, it is literally like twice or 3 times a year, not much at all. So it leaves quite a lot of time for my hair to get a lot better and improve its condition as well between that. And then, but I've never obviously attempted to go lighter, so it's not like I'm going to have damage from bleach or anything like that as well. When I mentioned about when I dyed my hair like twice in one go, I had about 6 months off dyeing it to replenish my hair, and I used a lot of hot oil treatments. I would definitely suggest doing this. I have actually run out of coconut oil, but I'll include a picture of what it looks like if you're not sure what it looks like. But you can literally just buy this from Morrison's or any supermarket, and you literally just put your hand in or a spoon and just grab a bit, and then put some in a bowl, put it in the microwave for a couple of minutes, and it'll turn into liquid. And then you just massage it into your scalp like this, literally just massage it into your scalp, and then go to bed, and then the next day wash it out in the shower, maybe wash it out twice, because then you'll make sure that everything is guaranteed to come out and you have no oil in your hair. And it definitely improved my hair so much after all the dyeing. It made my hair go super shiny again, and it's just the best thing you can use, as well as these, and as well as cutting out sulfate. That's literally my top 3 things. This is when I started using 𝐸𝓁𝒃 clip-in extensions, which I'm wearing right now. I use them for thickness and a couple of inches of length as well, so that is the reason why I wear mine. I'm still growing out my hair, obviously. I'm trying to get it to my bum, that's where I'm trying to get it to. It's like in between, well, you'll see in a couple of pictures, but it's like this, it's like the start of my bum. I'm just trying to get it like a few inches longer, like 3 inches longer, and then I think I'll be done. But yeah, these extensions are quite heavy, so I only need a couple of wefts. Like, I bought the 5-piece set. If you'll have seen my 𝑍aLa hair extensions review, go and check it out if you haven't. These are the best extensions I've ever used. For someone that has literally tried extension after extension, they're the best ones I've used. But yeah, just bring it to the present day. Sometimes I feel like my hair isn't very long, especially because of how thin my hair is, and other times I get shocked of how long it is, because I don't realise how long it is until someone takes a picture of the back of my head or I see it in a mirror. Literally, I just didn't have a clue how long it was until someone took a picture of my hair the other day, and I just didn't understand. I was like, wow, my hair has grown so much. Like, sometimes you just forget about it, and then you just notice how long it's got, and that's when it just makes you feel good that your hair is actually growing. But yeah, I document most of my hair growth on Instagram. Like, every few months I might take a picture of the back of my hair or something like that, and it just makes me feel good that my hair is actually growing. But I hope I can stop wearing extensions soon. Like, it would be so ideal just to stop wearing them completely, but they do help with my hair. Like, this is the thickness with extensions, and this like brings my hair to like normal thickness, if you know what I mean. Like, it's not too thick, but obviously my hair by itself is quite thin. I'm also trying to grow out like these short bits at the front, so it just helps like disguise them a little bit sometimes. But yeah, I have such an attachment to them, so it's hard after wearing them for so many years. So finally, right, I'm going to get on to what products I use, and if you're like bored or anything, just feel free to click off. But if you want to know what products I use, then just keep listening. So the first thing I use is coconut oil treatments. As I mentioned how to use them and everything. I just use coconut oil. You can buy it at any supermarket. It's like £2 or something like that. So yeah, I massively suggest that. Find heatless tutorials on YouTube for examples of curls and waves. If you've got straight hair like me and you're just bored of straight hair, you want curls. I think there's some heatless tutorials for straight hair as well. There's plenty of things. Or if you've got super curly hair and you just bored of having curly hair, then maybe it would just keep your hair out of your face, so you're not messing with it or tempted to use any heat or straighten it. Yeah, that brings me on to don't use heat. I mean, you can use heat if you use a heat protectant, which I use this one. It's just the Schwarzkopf Pro Styling Heat Protectant Spray, and it's probably not the best one you can get, but this is the one that I use. but I rarely use it because I rarely use heat. So if you're super serious about growing out your hair and it is stuck at this length or shorter or longer or whatever you're trying to do, then just cut out heat. Just try and cut it out for a year, or just use it on special occasions, things like that. Just try and find other ways you can do the style that you like in a heatless way, or just try and use try and do like more updos, or just put your hair in a ponytail or things like that. Find a style that you like that doesn't require heat or hairspray or anything like that, because all them things are bad for your hair. Next thing is keep conditioner on for a good amount of time. So when you're washing your hair and you use conditioner, keep your conditioner on for a few minutes because it just nourishes your hair more. Make sure your conditioner is also sulfate free, and also use a hair mask. So this is the hair mask that I use. They literally sell it everywhere. This is from like the pound shop, and it's just the argan oil hydrating hair mask with Moroccan oil. It's so good. It leaves my hair feeling so soft and shiny, so definitely check that out. It's so cheap, and literally any hair mask is good for you, so just try them out. They're super good. You don't have to use them every single time you wash your hair, but just make sure you use them every once in a while and keep them in for a few minutes before you rinse them. Next is when you're rinsing your hair, after you've rinsed all your shampoo out and everything like that, just rinse it with cold water when you've done, because it just seals the hair follicles. It helps reduce breakage, and it also makes your hair a lot shinier, so definitely do that. Next thing is don't brush your hair when it's wet. If you really have to, use a wide tooth comb, but if you can get away with it, just don't do it at all, because that's when you get the most breakage. Next is let your hair air dry from time to time. I mainly always let my hair air dry unless I really have to go out somewhere and my hair's wet. Luckily I don't have frizzy hair. If you have frizzy hair, then maybe you might have to. It's obviously your choice, but for me I just try and not use any heat at all. If you're treating your body good, then things are gonna work well for you. And then next is drink a lot more water. So I really slack on this, and I'm trying to drink more water than I do, but I find it really hard. But I know they do like them big bottles of water, and it tells you when you need to drink and things like that, so just maybe get something like that if you're really struggling. And yeah, just make sure to try and drink a lot more water. Next is when you wash your hair, try and scrunch it with a towel instead of like just rubbing your hair with a towel, because if you scrunch it like this, it's going to minimise damage. If you're just rubbing your wet hair with a towel, then it's probably just going to cause more breakage and split ends. Next thing is use plastic hair bubbles that don't snap your hair. So these are what I use. They're just like, it reminds me of like a telephone wire, like the old telephone wires, if you're like the same age as me, you know what I mean. But yeah, they're just like normal hair bubbles, but they're plastic, and they rarely get stuck in my hair. But saying this, mine got stuck in my hair this morning. But they do rarely get stuck in your hair, and they're great to just throw your hair up when you're sleeping and things like that. They don't get caught in, rarely, very rarely they get caught, but if I'm using normal hair bubbles, they get stuck in my hair a lot more. Next is sulfate free shampoo, obviously I mentioned that. And then lastly is wash your hair every 3 to 4 days, and it leaves a lot more moisture in your hair. So I know this might be hard for a few people, but I wash my hair every 3 to 4 days. That might sound crazy, but I mean, if it gets bad, then you just need to use some dry shampoo. Literally just use any dry shampoo. This is just a dry shampoo, Wild Berry. I don't even know what brand it is, but this is from Home Bargains. But yeah, I literally just wash my hair every 3 to 4 days, and it's made my hair grow a lot longer. If you get self-conscious about having greasy hair or anything like that, just throw it up in a bun, put it in a ponytail, put some dry shampoo in it, anything like that. Just washing your hair like takes a lot of moisture out from it. This is why it's important to do hair masks and things like that. But if you leave your hair and so it gets a little bit greasy and a little bit more moisture in it, then it's going to help your hair just get back to a good state, and also going to help it get shiny and everything like that. It's just going to help the overall quality of your hair. So guys, I think I've mentioned everything. Please leave any questions down below if you've got any queries, comments, concerns, anything like that, anything you want to know, anything that I missed out. I hope you enjoyed looking at the horrendous pictures of me when I was younger. Yeah, it's embarrassing, but you can laugh at them now. I hope I covered everything. If I didn't, obviously just leave me a question down below. Yeah, I think that's everything. I'm just looking around to see I've mentioned everything that's around me. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I really hope I could help maybe at least one person. I know it might be a bit of a boring video, but when I was trying to grow out my hair, I literally wrote down a little list of everything that I wanted to do, and that would improve my hair, and it definitely has. So yeah, my hair has grown like a total, well, it was about this length before, and now, if I can try and sit up, it was originally this length, and now without extensions it is about this length, so that is quite a lot of hair that I have managed to grow from these techniques over about 4 to 5 years. So yeah, I really hope I can help at least one person, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.